I guess that makes us live. Let me just check the audio here. I'm a little disheveled. As you know, it's nap time right before. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here we go. Play, damn it. There it is. There it is. The audio appears to be working. That's right, Hank Scorpio. Nothing like a sweet, sweet Sacktap. Yes, sorry. A little disheveled as usual getting going this evening. As you know, I take a little nap right before the show, and that's just how the hours line up these days. But anyway, I'm not nearly as disheveled as as the mullahs right now. They are taking a whooping over there. Before we get going, Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary _ Moyler, Moyler. Mike's Golden Streams on YouTube, or just search Sacktap Live, Mike Montone. It'll get you there. Apropos, I'm wearing my Wild Tiger hoodie. If you've ever deployed to Iraq, you know what Wild Tiger is. It is the fucking energy. There are two main energy drinks that you drink on deployment: Wild Tiger and Rip It. You can actually get both on Amazon, and I am fiending for some right now. It is there is no America that I love better than war in the Middle East America. Put the politics of it, whether it's in the long run good for the world or whatever. That could be debated by people much smarter than me, but just as a millennial, as one of the GWAT, the Global War on Terror kids, you just feel nostalgic when you see that fucking that ordnance dropping and and fucking rubbleized buildings in a desert environment. It just makes you think about a different time and place in America and the world. I'm trying to keep on top of what's going on over there. It's very hard because I usually use Twitter as sort of like my primary news source, where because you can kind of see what's trending, and even though there's usually inaccuracies, you can kind of suss out what's going on by checking with sort of a critical mass of different accounts and scrubbing and via some Google searches and some AI and everything like that. You can really give yourself a decent picture of what's going on. Early in this thing, it looked like people were trying to make it seem like it was, at least at the moment, some kind of I saw people claiming that America is lying and hundreds of Americans have been killed and stuff like that. Like every fucking bomb that lands that's been dropped by Iran, they're just declaring like a fucking huge success. And then you start getting the actual, the actual numbers back, and it's like, a very always unfortunate when US service members die, but it's not I saw people bandying about what looked like some fucking insane numbers over there. Hank Scorpio, congrats on getting a hand job from an Iranian chick under the Wildwood Boardwalk. That is, I think Kippy and the Bugman would be very proud of you if they heard that. That's a very patriotic thing to do. I do enjoy a nice Iranian chick. Those Persian broads are all right. They hit different. But I see just the developments from today. At least it looks like we sank one of their Navy ships. Let me see if I get the video on that. I believe we used a submarine. to sink one of their Navy ships, that hasn't happened since World War II, I believe, was the last time that that we sank one. Where is it? It was all over the goddamn place. Oh, here it is. There's Hegseth. He's very excited. Pete Hegseth seems like he's having the time of his life. He's up there. He's got his American flag pocket square. That's a sharp tie, by the way. You say what you will about Pete Hegseth. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he is a sharp dresser. I like Hegseth. I like having an OIF guy in there, which is
yesterday in the Indian Ocean.
Here we go.
And we'll play it on the screen there. An American submarine sunk an Iranian warship that thought it was safe in international waters. Instead, it was sunk by a torpedo. Quiet death. The first sinking of an enemy ship by a torpedo since World War II. Yesterday.
Hoorah! Yeah. He threw in that international waters thing. I did see a lot of people. Again, I have no idea what they, from what I've heard, they gave them a pretty loose ROE, rules of engagement, for you civvies. So I guess you're allowed to hit them in international waters. I have no fucking clue. It looks like they've just fucking minus a ground force, which who the hell, that's probably not the best idea. But obviously, I mean, it would be send the Marines wherever the Marines want to go, and we'll watch them fucking whoop ass. But you know, again, it's always hard for me to separate the what's good for the international political order and, you know, keeping the world fucking peaceful, and my desire to see things like the you know, the Beirut barracks bombing, etc., avenged. Because, you know, if anyone has earned what they're getting, and it's very weird seeing people like it hasn't completely happened yet, but you can tell that the like, obviously there have been anti-war protests and stuff, and everyone, you know, everyone is dividing along their predictable lines. With the exception of, you know, there are a lot of people who voted for Trump because they didn't want any more war. They're kind of they're Venn diagramming a little bit, but for the most part, you know, we're going into our usual camps here, and I haven't seen it yet, but people like, you know, it feels like there's a non-zero chance that before April 1st, we see Mark Ruffalo wearing an I Stand with the Ayatollah t-shirt. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it feels like that's what we're going to, where it's just whoever the, you know, the opposition to the Trump administration and Israel. If you oppose either of those, there are certain people who will love you no matter what, and it would be very funny. You almost wish that this had happened a month earlier, so that we could see, because I think award season is over, right? Is it done? Did they do they did the Academy Awards and the Grammys and all that bullshit, right? The BAFTAs, we had fun. But you could see Billie Eilish. Oh yeah, that's right, because the issue du jour at the time, which they seem to have completely forgotten about, was ICE. Everyone was very upset about ICE. Minnesota, Alex Preddy, They're very, very upset. No one is illegal on stolen land. We've forgotten completely about that. And here we are. So yeah, if this had happened like 4 weeks ago, we would have had a chance to see Mark Ruffalo wearing "I Stand with the Ayatollah" T-shirt. Maybe look, we do tend to get bogged down in these things, so there is a non-zero chance that that next year for the Academy Awards, maybe we get to see that. But who knows? I think I've discussed this before on the stream. I am a Hegseth fan. We'll see how he comports himself throughout the process here. Managing a wartime DoD is certainly different than a peacetime DoD. But I thought when he spoke to the generals a little while back that he gave was a very good speech. He hit on the things that we want. We want to become a more combat-oriented military again and get away from all the bullshit where we're getting bogged down in arguments about fucking haircuts and facial hair and uniforms and whatnot, and equity and whatever the fuck else became the agenda during the Biden years. So I think he's good for that. He's an OIF guy. I think one of the things I see a lot of people talking about how the Republican Guard and all these Iranian apparently I keep seeing like scare accounts on Twitter trying to convince me that that the Iranian military is somehow this we don't realize it, but they're actually this superior force, and it. I can't say again, I haven't watched film on the Iranian military. I don't know if they suck or not. At least on the ground, it looks like they're getting their asses handed to them in this air campaign so far. But I will say this: the guys who now are at the field grade and general officer level and the senior enlisted level in the Army and the Marine Corps and really all branches of the service are guys who cut their teeth fighting not only Iranian-backed militias in Iraq, but they fought the fucking Taliban, they fought Al-Qaeda in multiple countries, and militarily at least won all of that. Like just really put a sound ass beating on most of those groups over the course of those wars. Turned Ramadi and Fallujah were at one point the most dangerous cities on the planet, and then the U.S. rolled in, whooped some ass, and pacified the situation to the point where ISIS rose up after we left Iraq, and it's almost like you're like, well, they were still there, and it's like, yeah, I mean they literally were getting beaten so badly that they said the new strategy now is we're just going to stop what we're doing. We're going to stop doing insurgency. We're going to wait until they leave, and then we'll pick it back up because we're getting the shit kicked out of us too much. So, until proven otherwise, I have no doubts about our ability, again, to win the military version of the war. What happens after that is quite interesting. Iran has been that, and as far as the sort of regime change activities that we've been involved in the Middle East, it's interesting in that obviously the Taliban, Afghanistan after 9/11, had to go in pursuit of bin Laden. Iraq was not such a good idea. And then, Libya also not such a hot idea. I think the to me at least, and again, I don't know why everyone has to pretend to be a fucking expert. Like, it just, again, like all of the accounts I see on social media, it's just amazing how fucking it was all ice for a month. It was NFL playoff. I had people telling me what did and didn't constitute a catch versus an interception. People who had never watched football before were telling me that something was a catch. And then I had people telling me all about immigration policy and various constitutional amendments, and now all of those same accounts are experts on Middle East policy and the U.S. military. It's very, very silly, but or I would say arguably, and just like a loose sort of argument. And again, my personal preference is that we, not be in an active state of war. But if we are, I always root for the good guys. Iran, of all the regimes in the Middle East, is the one that you would look like and you would look at and be like, oh yeah, these guys should probably go. There are people there who still remember when it was, whatever sort of free society they had previously under the Shah was apparently very corrupt and everything too. Like none of the, again, you're never getting a perfect answer in that region, or it may be someday, hundreds of years from now. But if the history of the Middle East is not one that is filled with solutions to anything. It's just one problem begets another, and it's just been compounding for thousands of years over there. A fascinating place, and again, like there is something so. Even if you think about like Casablanca and Lawrence of Arabia, and I think of my childhood watching the Gulf War on TV, and the of course the Iran, the hostages in Iran. I think there are hostages in Iraq at one point as well. There's always, to me at least, I don't know about other people, been this mystique to the Middle East. And that was one of to me, the coolest things about going there and actually walking around there and among the palm groves. You're really in this place where it's truly biblical. Like you get out, especially once you get outside, just out to the city limits, even not even like way outside of the city in the desert. And you're walking around, and there's just a guy in a robe. They're literally just guys walking around, effectively dressed like fucking Jesus, guiding a goat and sheep down, through a fucking palm grove to go drink at the river. And you feel like you're in a completely different century. But as of right now, Trump has the I saw I don't have the clip, but I did see some Iranian baddies were doing the Trump dance. They were all listening to YMCA and doing the so they're loving it. I think this is, again, it's very similar. Maybe I think probably on a smaller scale, certainly, that as the Maduro situation, where a lot of like people from that country, whether they like Trump or not, are very happy about what was done, and then everyone else is just aligning with their usual sort of culture war pull. I mean, obviously, the global implications of this one are much bigger. They are going to have to they're going to have to come up with a new supreme leader. As I'm reading here, the the current frontrunner, Ayatollah Khamenei's son, was treated for impotency and couldn't find a wife. So, the leading contender to replace the downed Ayatollah Khamenei they're calling him Khamenei now. I always thought it was Khamenei. I don't know. But the New York Post better watch it. They are going to they may get a fatwa for this. That's one rocket he won't be launching. And I want to specify that is, if in case the mullahs are watching, it's the New York Post who wrote that, not me. The son of Iran's slain supreme leader Ali Khamenei, who is reportedly the favorite to succeed his despotic father, was treated for impotency so severe he had to be hospitalized numerous times. Why was he hospitalized? Were they worried he was going to die of a limp dick? Mojtaba Khamenei underwent several stints of treatment at Wellington and Cromwell hospitals in London after having a hard time conceiving with his wife, diplomatic cables published by WikiLeaks in the late 2000s showed. How about that? The New York Post is very, their wording is not nice. The regime hardliner was reportedly so soft, he checked into the clinics at least 4 times, including a stay that lasted 2 months before he was finally able to knock up his wife. What did this bitch look like? I guess we do have to ask that, before we pass judgment. Maybe it wasn't his, although I have to, if it took him 2 months of being inside before he could finally knock up his wife. What did they say? It was just like one of those pray away the gay camps that they send you to. Like the Christians send their fucking theater kid son to. Okay, as soon as their thick-boned daughter says she wants to try out for the softball team, they send him to Wellington and Cromwell. Yeah, Wellington and Cromwell. What a place to go get your dick worked on. That's either a place called Wellington and Cromwell either does like the best work on your useless penis, or they're completely unequipped to help. Like it feels like they're using old Victorian methods. Like they probably have like some sort of cage for it. They might put a couple leeches. They put some leeches right on the tip to suck blood down into your penis. Something along those lines. Well, 2 like fucking Victorian British gentlemen in those rounded spectacles stand there and inspect. It says Mojtaba was expected by his family to produce children quickly, but needed a 4th visit to the UK for medical treatment. After a stay of 2 months, his wife became pregnant. The diplomatic cable read. The ordeal also came after Mojtaba went through 2 temporary marriages allowed under Islamic law, so men and women can have non-committal sex in good religious standing, so he could get some practice in the sack. Now, in America, we do that, but it's just, that's actually, that's when you bang like a fat chick that you met at last call, and you have her over when none of your roommates are home, and you do that, like once a week or so for a month, for as long as you can respect yourself. That is, so we're not so different, are we, Mojtaba? Perhaps if he doesn't get taken out by a B-52 in the next few weeks, he can come to the bargaining table, and we can connect on that similarity. His marriage to the daughter of former Majlis Speaker Haddad Adel followed 2 temporary marriages. and occurred relatively late in life. God damn, this thing freezes. No. Reportedly, they keep mentioning this impotency problem. Yeah, he kept having to go to the UK. Maybe he was hoping to bum a fag while he was there. Both his wife and son were reportedly among the 49 people killed, alongside his 86-year-old father. If Let me tell you something, if my father was the Ayatollah, I would not. Maybe again, I don't really want to. I don't want to suggest, but maybe the whole marriage and fatherhood thing just wasn't for him. If he's letting them hang around, because tensions were high, and your father's the Ayatollah, he's like the biggest target. He's now poised to take over rule of the country, with numerous reports indicating Iran's Assembly of Experts, the 88-member council. I thought I saw Fetterman say that we took out a bunch of the mullahs, the Council of Experts, or the Assembly of Experts. Anyway, we shall see. This is a very lengthy article. The New York Post is trying to take up as much space as possible, so they can sell more ads. But yeah, in any case, the guy who may be leading our enemy in this fight did reportedly struggle to get an erection. Philly Fathead, Semper Fi, brother man. Good to have you here. Very funny, Mr. Hager. Good to have you back, sir. It's quite a wise crack. Now, Hank Scorpio says a Persian broad once asked me for a Cleveland steamer in the Animal Safari at Great Adventure. I find that very hard to believe, Mr. Scorpio. Anyway, yeah, Kesha's not happy. By the way, Kesha is very upset. They used the White House used the song "Blow" in video, and they were dropping ordnance on the enemy and blowing things up, and she got very upset. Boo-hoo. Why don't you join the team? Come on in for the big win. I was just watching. All this got us in the mood for a little good old fashioned American firepower. So we watched Full Metal Jacket this weekend, and what a fucking! It's funny. It's only now with some separation from the Marine Corps that I watched that movie, and I'm like, they got so many things, just like little things about the Marine Corps, right? The Marine Corps, it's so weird. Like, you look at the Vietnam era Marine Corps, and you're just like, this really isn't that different than the Marine Corps that I served in. Like, you're just like, oh shit, like Marines are just Marines. That's it. The Mr. Touchdown the guy who played a little football for Notre Dame, the platoon commander who gets killed in Way City, is like, that guy is he is what, like, the prototypical like Marine Corps junior officer is. Like, they nailed that fucking character. And I I absolutely love the way I'd never noticed this before when I watched it, but every time they tell them that they're reporters from Stars and Stripes, the guys that they're interviewing like perk up and preen for the camera. It's just these fun little details that make that movie incredible. But the U.S. has been kicking quite a bit of ass lately. And, you know, we talked about this last week, the hockey guys. I'm going to put my earbuds in for this so we can watch the video. The before the war kicked off, I'm sorry, I'm reading Thomas Hager's comment about Kesha. Hager, you don't like the second half of Full Metal Jacket? I think it's outstanding. I mean, some of the most iconic scenes in that movie take place in the second half when they're when we learn about Alabama Black Snake, when the hooker says that it's too beaucoup. That's what I started doing that at bars. I just started taking out my penis and referring to it as New Jersey White Snake and asking women if they thought it was too beaucoup. None of them ever said that it was. Yeah, so the hockey guys had an awesome time. Our boys won the cup, beat Canada at their sport. That's right, Casper. America 250, fuck yeah. And two groups of people were very upset about the American men's hockey team winning the gold medal and the way they celebrated after. Of course, they celebrated with Donald Trump, and anyone who shows any kindness or affinity or anything towards Donald Trump is evil in the eyes of Canadians and, you know, a little bit less than half of America. I don't know what the actual numbers are. Yeah. So these guys, it's the most fucking ridiculous thing. Like they all seem like the nicest kids in the world. They're all happy, in a good mood. And, you know, I was scrolling through again before the Iran bombing literally blew the story off of my Twitter feed. You couldn't go two scrolls without seeing, a guy surrounded at his locker by a bunch of fucking microphones and some fucking wiener saying, what do you have to say for yourself celebrating your huge achievement with Donald Trump? What do you have to say for you laughed at that joke? What do you have to say for yourself? Like fuck off, fucking wieners. The Canadian press has been particular because a lot of these guys, I guess, play for teams that are in Canada, so they had to go back to Canada and they had to deal with these fucking wieners. One of them is this guy Steve Dangle. Steve Dangle Glynn. He's a hockey YouTuber. He has, of course, he has his pronouns in his bio. Which he claims to be he, him, which I find dubious. I would say he has to prove that this guy's a fucking chick until proven otherwise. Here he is. Here's his picture. This is from back during lockdown. He's showing off his vax shot. He's all vaxxed. He's vaxxed and double masked in his car. If you're wondering. So this guy and guys like him don't like the America hockey team. And
hey, we look forward to the U.S. Beating our soon-to-be 51st state, Canada. You fucking asshole.
Oh, you gotta wonder at this point, is it all a grift? Is it all like, is he just doing this like he's like a method actor? And he's just like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do my thing where I'm playing the role of the pissed off liberal Canuck here, and that'll drive clicks and viewership. Is that it? What a wiener. Just what a wiener. There is nothing. Well, there are things I love more. I'll be honest. There are things I love a lot more. But something I really enjoy is how annoyed Canadians get about the whole 51st state thing. And now, look, I mean, hey, Venezuela, Iran, I'm hearing rumblings about Cuba. Before 4 years is up, we might actually have annexed part of Canada. And that would be great. That would be fun. That's right. That's right, Canada, all the poutine. What else? Well, I'll let Stevie continue here.
We'll never be your 51st state. Mm-hmm. And that's got nothing to do with hockey. That's got everything to do with you motherfuckers showing up at our front door with guns and tanks and shit. Of course we're going to feel a certain type of way about that. And you're the captain of a Canadian NHL team.
So, and again, I mean, look, with Trump, who the fuck knows? If someone gets in his ear and says, actually, Mr. President, it wouldn't be that hard. He might just, because you never say never to him. He doesn't like it. And when you say that, you saw what Obama did. He said never. And then, but the idea that the United States is actually going to invade Canada is that's like a Twitter, that's like a social media, like, freak out thing. So to hold, like, how much attention do you think hockey players, like, if you're a hockey player, your entire life revolves around playing hockey. And not only, if you're in the NHL and you're on the Olympic gold medal team, you have 2 fucking hockey seasons. You have 2 hockey teams to worry about. You have all of this hockey, and then you have whatever your personal life is, your family, your dating, your friends, your kids, maybe you're into crypto, whatever it is you do with yourself, that maybe you're not sitting around obsessing over social media political hot takes, and wondering what position do I have to hold on the potential for the invasion of Canada by the United States.
Austin, Brady, Connor Hellebuck might as well be.
Quinn until a couple months ago.
Quinn until a few months ago, and you shook hands with that motherfucker?
Oh, That motherfucker. He's a tough guy. He's a tough guy. I love what it's, by the way, it's very, the mic stand he's using looks like the kind that just sits on a desk. I don't know why he's holding it like that. He's gripping it like it's the base of a cock.
Fuck you.
Oh.
That dude threatened the place where I live.
Oh, boy.
And actively continues to do so. And I'm supposed to just look at you and feel fine about that? Fuck you.
Oh, man. Tell you what. I don't want to get on this guy's bad side. You've served in both the U.S. and Canadian militaries. That's interesting. I never worked with any guys who were in the Canadian military, but I did go to OCS with a guy who was from Canada. That's about as close. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to be in the U.S. military? We fuck everybody up. The U.S. military is very good at beating everybody. Like, literally, I think China's the only country that would give us any kind of fair fight. Like, that's the only country where it's like, it's going to be a fucking Donnybrook. Otherwise, we wreck shop. Politically, we can lose a war. We can get embedded in a quagmire or whatever. But, otherwise, leave us there forever. We'll just keep killing your guys over and over. We'll lose a few, and eventually you will death by 1,000 cuts, get the American people to not support the war and demand that we come home. But if you just want to keep fighting, like the guys in the U.S. military will happily do that, and they will happily keep signing up. By the way, the fucking yes, very good, Thomas Hager. Yes, a quagmire. What about a Peter Griffin? Yeah, very good. Thank you. But they say there's like a recruiting crisis in the military now. It's because kids are, they're all soft, fat, and sick. It's not because people necessarily don't want to serve. It's more no one meets the fucking standards. And yes, OCS is the appropriate way to earn a commission. If you're going to do it, that is certainly the way. And it looks like I guess the Kurds have launched a ground offensive in Iran. That would be fascinating. If the fucking Kurds took over Iran. The Kurds are an interesting bunch. We served with some Kurds in Iraq, and every night they had a chai boy they used to take up to the roof of this little building we were living around. We set up a camp around an abandoned school. It was like a 1-story building, and they all used to go butt fuck this kid up there. Fucking gotta love the Kurds. The chai boy, he was up there getting cornholed. What do we got? Speaking of other stories, this is just knocked out of the headlines. Nancy Guthrie, we have a DNA match on a glove that was found in the Nancy Guthrie case. If you're saying, who the fuck is Nancy Guthrie? Nancy Guthrie is the mother of Savannah Guthrie, the missing old woman who is, I guess she's still presumed alive. She can't. I refuse to believe at this point that she is alive. And it appears the glove was tested, and it's just from it was from a restaurant from across the street. It's really, really anticlimactic, and it's it's unfortunate that this is for them, that this is just the way the news cycle works. Or maybe it's not, maybe it's better, maybe it gets resolved a little more quickly since it's out of the headlines. Maybe the people who did it are a little more willing to maybe, I don't know that they're going to identify themselves intentionally, but maybe you can do something that can draw them out, like the attempt for like a ransom or something like that. Which again, she's got to be dead. I don't know how long. I saw a great white shark that died on its first day in captivity. How long does a sick old lady last in captivity? Like, this is not, February 1st, we're over a month now. Yeah. This does not feel like it's, I don't know that there's gonna be a resolution, to be honest. I think, if you have Nancy Guthrie right now, you're abandoning, I'm sure she's dead. So you've abandoned any desire for a reward or for a ransom or whatever. And now you're pretty much just figuring out, if you haven't disposed of it already, you're figuring out how to properly dispose. Right? That's got to be it. I just don't. I don't know where else you go with that. Like, I think there was a window where you could get her back, maybe. If any of those ransom demands were even legit. I mean, again, it feels like, it's so weird, because what it feels like, and without the Ring camera footage of like the guy in the mask and everything like that, what it feels like is you would say someone at home accidentally killed her, and then, or maybe intentionally killed her, and then it went to extreme lengths to try to cover it up. And I guess the Ring camera with the guy in the mask and everything, all of that shit, it could be part of that. But it was treated as, missing person, she's missing. But it just seems like you get to a point where, and again, very quickly because of her age, that there's not going to be a happy resolution. I think it feels like you had about a week to get her back in one piece. She's got to be dead by now. So I will continue to monitor. Maybe she's home in time for St. Patrick's Day, but don't think so. So what time is it? Let's see. Do I have if there are no ads on this video, we'll see. Is this this is the body cam footage? So they arrested, this is like a hyper local story to me, and I'll finish up on this. It'll be the last last thing we take a look at here. This is in Jersey City, and I just saw it, and I couldn't find the raw video. So I'm hoping if this doesn't play, we'll just read some of the things that this guy said. So this guy was the chief of staff to Mayor Fulop, and Mayor Fulop was just he just had his last term in office. He's going on to do something else. And this guy got busted for a DUI and tried to get out of it by explaining who he is. So let me see. I just came across this video, so I haven't had a chance to watch it or anything. So we'll discover this together. Otherwise, they have some great quotes in here from it.
How's everything? Good? What happened? Huh? Tapped it?
By the way, it appears to be broad daylight when he is getting this DUI, by the way. And actually, I think I know exactly I can see the reflection of the building that they got him in front of, and I'm pretty sure this is around the corner from one of the gyms that I train at. I think I jog past this place pretty frequently. How about that? That's always fun. That's whenever you know a place that's in the news. Like when I was in Miami, I went to the boat slip where Andrew Cunanan killed himself. That's kind of like this. That's fun.
Can you explain to me what happened though? You tapped it. That's it. Do you have your keys to the car? Turn it off. Give me the keys. Step out of the car.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know exactly where this is. Holy shit. That's fun. So they got him. He's out of the car, and that I don't know how people I do not have the fortitude. Like, obviously, I think drinking and driving is a very stupid thing to do. Everyone at some point in their life, if you drink, has done it. But there are people who really drink and drive. Like that's just what they do. Like they're going out and of course we're driving. And I've always found that strange. I would never be able to have fun while I was out getting hammered, knowing that I then had to get into my car and try to get home either without committing vehicular manslaughter or getting into to this situation. Because the thing is, if you've been drinking, unless you're a 40-year daily functional alcoholic who just puts, there's just vodka in everything that you drink and you do it to, that's how you maintain your normal. If you're drunk, any sober person can take one look at you and tell that you're drunk. There is no talking your way out of a DUI.
Just stand over here. What are you called for? And East 2 also reach out for a field sobriety officer.
Oh boy. Oh man. the fucking second he hears the words, yeah, please send a field sobriety officer. I mean, that's just, you just know. Fuck. And it's for a DUI is such a relative crime. It's relative to what your station in life is, right? If you're an actor, if you're in Hollywood, if you make shitloads of money in finance, you own a business, you're independently wealthy, you're fine. You get a DUI and you don't hurt anybody, it's kind of like, all right, insurance rates are going to go up. Who gives a shit? If this guy works in local government, this is, being the chief of staff to the mayor and getting a DUI in your city is it's a big problem.
Heavily intoxicated.
Oh, you don't want to hear that either.
You.
No, that's not true. You know it's not true. You know
Sir.
It's not true.
Sir.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
You're repeating everything you keep saying. That indicates it. Did you be honest with me, did you have anything to drink?
Two.
Okay. All right.
That, by the way, is a massive fucking mistake too. You don't take the bait on that one, because you're gonna have to argue all of this stuff later. You just got to shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. They're gonna get you. That you're gonna fail the field sobriety, and they're gonna do your blood alcohol and breathalyze you. They're gonna get you. But you can't say you drank anything, because you never know. There's a chance you come in like a fraction below or whatever. You gotta just shut your fucking mouth, dude.
Have a seat. Just have a seat. Just have a seat. Have a seat.
Hey, you know what? Cops are cool.
Okay, have a seat.
We literally added everybody. We cared about you, all of you cops. What's happening here?
Ah, shit. God damn it.
More cops than any other.
Sorry, I kept accidentally muting
It's
it.
not fair, and you know it. You know it. Like this, political backwards.
And
not fair.
your registration insurance is in your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not fair.
Okay.
It's not fair,
Okay.
girl.
I hear you.
We hire.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Why does he keep calling her girl? Also, the stupid fucking volume
It's really not working in your favor right
adjustments
now.
on here.
Can you?
I pause. I don't know why this fucking. Every time I move my mouse, this stupid fucking thing keeps turning the volume on and off.
Can you please call her? Sit in the car. Can you please call her?
Get your legs in there. You guys pat him down?
You guys pat him down?
Okay, yeah, take him out. Pat him down.
There we go.
If I'm a Craig guy in Hudson County, if I'm the county executive, then you know what? I get a off DUI. If I'm any county politician in Jersey City, I get off. If I'm any elected official.
I'm sorry. This is not an exciting part of the video. This guy and the functionality of this video are equally irritating. And as I'm sure it's irritating all of you. I wanted to get to a point. There's less than a minute left. Eventually, I don't want to spoiler alert. He admits to cheating on his wife. That's what I wanted to get to. Having seen him on camera, I find it a tad suspect that he even has a wife in the traditional sense, because if we're being totally honest, he does play a bit limp-wristed. But we'll let it run its course.
In the state of New Jersey that does this, I get off. Craig Guy got off of his little DUI. Literally.
Phil, you gonna let me finish this, please?
Who cares? Who cares? Craig Guy got off.
Craig Guy got off on a DUI. Another elected official in New Jersey got a DUI and got off, apparently. So he says.
Craig Guy got off. We all know this. Craig Guy got off of a DUI. You motherfuckers all know it.
Phil.
You guys all know
Phil, this is part of my job. Please allow me to do it. Thank you.
it. I love cops.
I understand.
I love cops. Those cops weren't good cops. You guys,
Phil,
good cops.
can you allow me to read this to you, please?
What the fuck? The article tells me that he says he cheated on his wife, and then they don't fucking show it. These motherfuckers at the New York Post. I'll find the line down here. Shockingly, he also decides to tell officers that he cheated on his wife with 2 women. My wife hates me. I fucking cheated on her and she fucking hates me, bro. Yeah, I do not believe that this general, I don't think this guy's wife was worried about him bagging other chicks. Anyway. Yes, I'm sorry, Thomas Hager. I pulled this one up at the very last second. The New York Post tempted me with a link right before we went on, so I did not have a chance to scan through the video. You have been blue-balled. Yes, I apologize, but I'll tell you what. Awful as that may have been, Hager, you're still here. You're still hanging out watching the stream. And with that, I will we'll end on that fucking dud. Sorry, Thomas Hager. And sorry to everybody else. But I hope the other 60 minutes were at least worth the watch. Should be back next Wednesday. I don't see why I wouldn't. Inshallah. Twitter at Mike Montone, Instagram at Gary_Moyler, MOYLER, and of course Mike's Golden Streams or Sacktap Live on YouTube. And we'll catch you guys next time. Adios, motherfuckers, as they say.